Good evening, everyone. My name is Buffy from the Recovering Perfectionist Mama podcast, Grace in Progress. So how's everyone doing today? If you don't know me, I am a women's lifestyle creator on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Same username as I have on my podcasts, Recovering Perfectionist Mama. And I deal with issues like marriage and motherhood and self-empowerment, self-improvement, fitness, nutrition, life hacks, self-empowerment, self-improvement, cycle syncing, I can never say that correctly, and many other topics. Today we're going to dive into something that is a little bit of a newer topic, I feel like. It's called the mental load. And the mental load is the act of carrying all of the things that we as wives and mothers end up carrying, especially if we have children and we have so many obligations going. And I feel like we were sold a bill of goods when we were told that women can achieve everything that they want and they can have it all, because ultimately there is not enough hours in the day to have everything that you want, right? There's always an opportunity cost, meaning when you choose one thing, you miss the opportunity for something else. And I'm the type of person who bought that you could have it all. You could have a spouse, you could have children, you could have a job, you could have all of these things, and it would all fit together perfectly. I know some of you are probably laughing about that, but I truly believe that until I became a mother. And once I became a mother, I learned and I felt that I wanted my children to be a priority. I learned from another relative in my family that time is short, that time waits for no one, and that you have to do the things that you want to do when you have that opportunity. And if you don't, grab life by the horns, you're going to miss out. So ultimately, my children became a priority. I'm also a homeschooling mom, and I spend a lot of time with my children, and I love it. I mean, some days are easier than others, as you mothers know, but ultimately, I wouldn't change it. And I'm thankful to be able to have had that opportunity and have that opportunity. So for today's podcast, it is Lightening the Mental Load, Sharing the Invisible Work at Home. Does it feel like every appointment, permission slip, and grocery list lives in your head and only yours? That invisible juggling act has a name, the mental load. Today, we're unpacking what the mental load really is and how it impacts relationships, and most importantly, how to share it. So your home life feels like a team effort, not a solo job. Understanding the mental load. Essentially, what the mental load is the unseen planning, tracking, and anticipating that keeps a household running, right? It's the reason why women are really good at this, but also really saddled with it, because it almost feels like you can't turn it off. Like your brain is constantly running a to-do list in your head. And it's why if you have ADHD or something that causes your brain to race, your thoughts to race, why you're up in the middle of the night when you should be sleeping, because you have this feeling that you forgot something, but you're not sure what it is. I feel like I have this obligation and it's keeping me awake tonight and I'm not really sure what it is. And I want to turn my phone on and I want to check my calendar because I'm pretty sure that there's something that I've missed. And you just have that sinking feeling like, oh my word, what am I forgetting? Am I forgetting something for my children? Am I forgetting something for my spouse? Am I forgetting something for myself? I mean, I literally despise being late. I despise missing appointments. And when I do, I feel like the worst person in the world. I also despise messing up. I despise wasting time, so you have all of those things going. Yes, I'm very type A sometimes, so sorry about that, but that's just the reality. I think you almost have to be type A to keep a household running, right? So remembering birthdays, I'm really good at birthdays. I know some people are not. I, however, am. I have been since I was a kid, because My grandparents had issues remembering people's birthdays, and so I always remember them for them, the year they were born, all that fun stuff. The monitoring the kids' shoe sizes, my spouse actually does that, so that's pretty good. Because literally, like, finding the little sizes and all that stuff is, I just sometimes don't have the patience for that. And then scheduling doctor's appointments. I do that. Doctors, dentist appointments. And, when you have 5 kids, it can be a little bit of a juggling act, right? Thank goodness our dentist lets us have appointments for all the kids at the dentist at the same time. Until one kid gets sick, which we actually had that. And so she missed her appointment, and then we had to wait till the next appointment and all that, all that fun stuff. Juggle, 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 juggle. I think I probably would have been a pretty good juggler. I mean, if I didn't have to catch the ball. Also, the emotional impact can be heavy. I mean, there's a lot of stress involved, sometimes even resentment, and sometimes even burnout. And the thing about burnout is, there's no telling to what degree you're going to experience the burnout. And there's no prescription for burnout, is there? Like, oh yeah, take a 2-week vacation, or take a nap, or it's almost like it's still waiting for you. The load is still waiting for you when you wake up from your nap, or when you come back from a pedicure, or when, you go on your vacation, you're going to come back home and you're going to still feel like, oh, And if kids weren't so awesome, it wouldn't be worth it. But they are awesome and they are worth it. But they also want their mom to be present and their dad to be present. And that's what we can give them. We can give them that life, that love, the childhood that they deserve, right? So that they're not recovering from something. We're giving them the joy, the love, because ultimately that's what family's all about, right? So yeah, there is a mental load and it can be heavy, but the benefits of it, so many great benefits, guys. I love being a mother. I do. Now, am I a perfect mother? Absolutely not. But I love my kids and I love them a lot. So the research shows that women frequently carry more invisible labor. Invisible labor meaning things that aren't seen, Kind of like when you go to a hotel and you left your room a mess at the hotel and you come back, oh my goodness, were there imaginary cleaning fairies that came and cleaned up my room for me? No, that is a staff person who cleaned your room. No one invisible was here to clean your room, right? So it's almost like the things that we do, it's like, do they actually seem to have value? Do people actually appreciate them? The person that knows birthday, so-and-so's birthday. Hey, your friend from class, has a birthday today. Do we want to get him a gift card? Do we want, what do you want to do? Right? The activities, the taking your kids to activities, the trying to do special things with each one of your kids. Make sure that they feel seen and heard and understood and had plenty of time to spend with their parents or out by themselves or activities that they enjoy. Even in dual career homes, so it ultimately falls to the woman. I think that's just kind of a traditional role in a lot of ways. So how to recognize signs that you're carrying too much. You're like, I already know I have too much on my plate already and I'm adding more every day. That's me, totally. Constant mental to-do list running in the background. Check. Feeling like the family manager instead of a partner, sometimes. Irritability or exhaustion without a clear physical reason. My brain hurts. That's a clear physical reason, right? Short personal story here is I literally experienced a big loss for me here this past summer, back in June. And I have been struggling with grief from the loss of someone who was very near and dear to my heart. And I did not realize it, but I was actually increasing my mental load. And by saying increasing my mental load, I mean, I was trying to stay busy so I would not focus on the grief and the somatic symptoms that came with that, as well as the hurt and the sadness and all of that goes with it. So I was literally piling things onto my plate in addition to the kids, in addition to the other responsibilities. and not realizing that that was kind of trying to be a coping mechanism or a defense mechanism for me against the grief. And it all came to a head like yesterday, and it was not fun. I mean, for most people, that wouldn't have been a major deal. But for me, like the somatic pain was pretty substantial for me. And I was sad and I was embarrassed and I was hurt and I was disappointed and I couldn't stop crying. And it was just something that was not fun. But it made me realize, because I'm a very self-aware person, that I was doing too much. And then I tried to peel back the layer a little bit and ask myself, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I don't want to cope with the grief. I don't want to deal with that pain right now because I don't have time, right? Not only that, but who likes to experience grief? No one. And so it opened my eyes, and now I'm kind of like, okay, I'm going to take a step back for a little bit and just try to focus on the things that I need to do rather than adding more. Let me get comfortable. Let me get stronger. Let me work through things gradually, and it'll all be okay, right? It'll all be okay. And invisible work is still work, right? Even if no one acknowledges it, like they always say, so if a tree falls in the forest and no one sees it, did it really happen? Yes, it still happened. So practical strategies to share the load. Brain dump. Write down everything you do weekly, from laundry to dentist appointments. Divide by ownership. Each partner fully owns a task, planning and execution. No reminder manager. So you are not responsible for nagging or hounding or any of that, your partner, to do certain things that you have divided up. Use tools, shared calendars. My partner and I actually do that. Project apps like Trello or Cozy. Weekly check-ins, 15 minutes on Sunday to have a Sunday meeting, to review schedules and redistribute as needed. Involve kids. Age-appropriate chores build responsibility. We're still working on that, and that is something that is on my to-do list, because with 5 children, overwhelm hits very quickly. You don't want your house looking like a tornado, and for some of us, that is a trigger. For me, it is actually a trigger, because I have a relative who was a hoarder, and it's a struggle. It triggers me. So both partners need to work on mindset shifts, right? Embrace good enough. Good enough is better than perfect, because nothing is ever going to be perfect. And for my username, you know that I know a little something about perfection, right? I've never achieved it. I used to want to achieve it. Now I realize that it's a trap. Good enough is the enemy of good, right? Because nothing's ever going to be perfect, right? As soon as someone eats a cupcake and they get like a crumb on the floor, it's not perfect anymore, right? Especially if you are a person who's like, I mean perfect, right? Also, home management should be a shared skill set, not gendered work, right? And my partner's not like that. So, I mean, he does help quite a bit. I've actually, especially with the thing that happened back in June with my loss, I've kind of not been doing as much as I need to be doing sometimes too. So just kind of working through that and just trying to figure it out. So I'm very thankful to have a partner who respects me and understands, you know, that there are things that I still need to work on too. So, and then celebrate wins, acknowledge when balance improves. So what's one invisible task you do that no one notices? Write it down. Who can you share it with this week? So let's talk about summarizing the important steps. Awareness. You have an awareness that something is not being done as it should. Then that should lead to a conversation and then shared systems in some way. You guys work it out. We're adults, right? We can figure it out. And reminder, you're not asking for help, you're creating a partnership. And that is right before we got married, that's what my spouse and I had said that we wanted. We wanted a partnership where we could be partners. You know, we own a business together, we have children together, you know, we have similar goals, we're one unit. We need to act like that. So, the mental load is real and heavy. This episode shows you how to name it, discuss it, and finally share it to your household so your household runs like a team. Listen now and start a mental load conversation at home tonight. Tag me with your biggest aha moment or share a screenshot to inspire other families. So here we go. Thank you for joining and listening today, and I hope you learned something about the mental load and hopefully feel less alone and are able to have that conversation. Feel free to shoot me a message about how you were able to handle the mental load conversation if you had it, or some ideas that you might have about the mental load and how to potentially conquer it and inspire others. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a great Sunday. Bye-bye.